Right, I was going to do a video on sort of the garden sort of storm update, as it were. So we've had another named storm, so it's sort of what you expect over winter. But regardless of that, it is still raining at the moment, so we're inside the greenhouse at the moment. It's a bit of a mess in here, to be honest. I sort of chucked a load of stuff in here. I didn't really have a chance to clean anything out or anything like that, so there's just loads of the sort of tender stuff, all the ioniums, and some of the palms I've been growing from seed for the last year or so. So we've got a lot of the Brahea Marta, which we grew from seed last spring, along with some Folifera and some potted succulents and cacti, that sort of thing. What else have we got in here? We have got some, we've got Livingstoner, that's Australis. We've got a Livingstoner Decora, and we've got Camerops Cerifera there, and again just more sort of cacti, agaves, and some more palms over here, some small sables, various sable minors and palmettos, and a couple of bootier yetes there as well. But yeah, so the greenhouse I didn't do anything with over winter. I used to have a fan running in here all the time. I've turned that off because what I'm doing is leaving the window open a crack to let air flow in, and I've also got a little door with well, originally had a cat flap on it. It's just got a little sort of plastic grill on that, so airflow can come in, and plenty of airflow. But again, on the mild days I will have the door open, just so we don't get anything, you know, get any condensation and too much wet build up. So you probably can't see it from there, but it's currently 10 degrees in here. After the freeze a couple of weeks back, it did get down to minus 0.9, so cold but not too cold, and that's even with the window and door opener crack. Anyway, so I think it stopped raining, so we'll have a look outside and see what's going on in the garden. Right, so the wind, the storm, and we didn't get too bad winds here. We got in the region of 40 to 45 mile per hour winds, which is nothing compared to a lot of the country. I know somewhere, I think it's in Wales, that was over 90 miles per hour, so that's quite damaging winds. But yeah, we're quite lucky here. I mean, the wind direction was actually coming from the north, and we've got all the trees at the back, so that sort of diffused that, so it weren't really too windy at all in the garden. And yeah, apart from that freeze we had a little while back, like I say, a couple of weeks back now, it's been pretty mild, to be fair, so a lot of stuff has still been growing. And we'll look at some of the colocaceas. I mean, yes, they are under the shelter here, but we've got, we can see that it's a Colocasia esculenta pushing out a new leaf. We've got the pink china still growing new leaves. Metallica, Colocasia metallica, is pushing out a new leaf, and even the burgundy stem is pushing out a new leaf as well. So yeah, even though it's been cool, things are still still trying to grow. And interestingly, some of the spring stuff, or stuff we expect to see come up in spring, is already starting to come up. So we've got some of the primulas here which are flowering, and we've even got some of the lords and ladies coming up, which they normally come up early spring, and they've started to come up already. And marsh marigold is starting to flower there. So yeah, it's all over the place at the minute. We have got the gunnerer cut down and covered over, but I'll be digging them out early spring next year. And I'm thinking about moving my big tree fern from the bottom of the garden and putting here next to this tree fern. So this is a 3-foot trunk tree fern, and we'll have a 5-foot trunk behind that, I think. So yeah, it's just a matter of moving that over in early spring when it's cool and wet. So that should establish quite quickly. Tree ferns are quite easy to move. They do have quite a substantial root run underground, sort of a tight, thick mat of leaves, but you can cut through them and quite easily move, and they do recover quite quickly, I've found. Yeah, so everything else is again looking okay. We have got some flowers here. Still plenty of foliage to look at and enjoy. I haven't tied up the bootias yet. I have got some paracord on hand, so what I've done is just doubled up some paracord, tied a knot in it and looped it through, so when I want to tie it up I can just lift it up, pull it tight and tie it off. But as it is at the moment, it's not been cold enough to warrant tying them up and fleece bagging them, not quite yet. So yeah, everything underneath the centre shelter is fine. We can see, even though it's been raining for 2 days solid pretty much, everything under here, all the mulch is dry, so that's doing a good job of keeping everything dry. And again, we've got some Colocasia esculenta there still trying to grow. I did tie up the Cordyline Superstar in preparation for the wind, but as I say, it's coming from a different direction, so it's fairly sheltered at the moment. But I do find with these Cordylines, the foliage is so wide and the trunks are fairly skinny, so I don't want to risk, after the last storm burst and one of my Torbay Dazzlers got blown over, I didn't really want to risk that again, so I have tied it up and put some bamboo stakes and tied it to that as well, so it's nice and solid, and that will stay tied up like that all winter. And like I say, we get a minus temperature and I'll chuck a fleece bag over that. So yeah, I'm thinking about moving this tree fern here. This is a 5-foot tree fern, so that'll go down where I said, behind the 3-footer down that end, and then I'll have a nice gap there which I can put my new tree fern in, which is the Cyathea medullaris, come spring. I think that'll be a good contrast. This tree fern looks okay here, but what I do find is that some of the fronds do get damaged when they get blown about and get knocked against the cordyline trunks. So we've got a cordyline sort of either side of that, And yeah, we do get a little bit of damage on the fronds for them hitting the trunks of them. So yeah, I think that'll be a good move to get that out the way, and at least that'll open up some of the plants at the back there as well. So we've got the variegated fats here, and also a big leaf rhododendron there, which you can barely see due to the large foliage on the tree fern. Yeah, so that is even when you've got trees which have got no leaves on them, when they're sort of dense like this, they do tend to break the wind quite well, diffuse, take all the power out of it, so which is good. Really dull day. Like I say, it's been raining on and off all day. Like I say, in my area in Suffolk, we've definitely missed the worst of the storm. Like I say, only sort of 40-mile-per-hour winds. So I can't complain about that. I did get this shelter up over McQueen Palm here, which is the Santa Catarina form of Queen Palm. So we finally built a shelter over that. That's quite a basic one. I did have that top portion was already made up. There's just some small clear plastic panels I had put on a frame. So I had that for a few years, and literally just 4 stakes. The back ones are screwed to the fence. Stakes at the front are sort of splayed out slightly to give it a bit more structural strength in the winds, stability wise. And obviously we've got some cross bracing on there as well, and I've found that is quite a good solid structure that doesn't move at all. And then we've just got some corrugated clear at the front there, just to stop the wind blowing all the rain in, just to protect these palms underneath there. Yeah, so everything is holding up. I don't think I explained this one, so we'll have a quick look at this. So I think most regular viewers will know I've extended some planting area here. This is the new planting bed which I'll be planting up next year. Totally empty apart from this Trachycarpus princeps, which I moved from the other side of the centre bed a few months back now. But just due to, this palm I've had for a few years now. It's pretty solid. It did spear pull a couple of years back, but it came back strong. But because it's been freshly moved, it's going to be weakened, so I thought I'd better put something over it. And this is literally just an old cheap greenhouse I had for a few years. Originally I had this indoors as a grow tent. So if you go back a few years, I had all my palms and that, and this was actually a lot taller, but over the years I've lost some bits, and I split the plastic, as it were. So literally this is just a sort of frost, stopping the frost hitting the palm and stopping it getting too wet over winter. Like I say, there's some splits that the zip is broken, so that's permanently open anyway, so that's not a bad thing to let the air flow in. But yeah, a lot of the frame's all in one piece, but a lot of the cover is split in places. Hence, I've got a lot of these little clips all over, just to stop it, blowing about too much and blowing away. So yeah, even if you've got an old mini greenhouse which is split or broken, it can still be used. Yes, it doesn't look too pretty, but it does a job, so it serves a purpose. So we've got a frame, and I've just put some wood and some bricks on that, so it's sort of a solid. Yeah, it moves about, but it doesn't. That's not going to get blown away. And yeah, these clips are just little plastic clips you can buy, which literally just clip onto the tubing of the frame. So yeah, that's just literally because it's been freshly moved. I didn't want to stress it out too much by having it fully exposed, as it were. So next year, obviously, I won't protect that particular palm. Yeah, the ground is pretty waterlogged, pretty wet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what you expect for winter. So I did go round and cut a lot of the dead foliage off a lot of stuff. I did leave the banana leaves for now, because again, they will, because they're folded down over the pseudo stem, they will protect it slightly. So I might just leave them until we get if we get a really cold point, and I might take them off and then just bubble wrap the pseudo stems. But that's as and when it's needed. It's not something I'm going to do unless I need to. The Bootia Aerospatha, this one, I've really never protected this. This is one palm where it's never really took any damage, even a couple of years back when we were getting -6s and had a really cold spell for a week or so, a lot of -6s, and never took any damage, never worried about protecting it, and it's always come through winters really well. It does seem to handle our colder, wetter winters better than Bootia odorata. So that is Bootia Aerospatha. Yeah, it might just be my conditions, my particular area, but that is what I found. For me, it's definitely the tougher palm for my area. I will say the Bootia odorata is still trying to open a frond, which is looking, and this is not a surprise at all, but looking very yellowy in the centre there. It just is too cold for it to pull up any nutrients. But I do find that they do still push all winter long. Not at a fast rate, but they do push. And come spring, when it warms up a bit, that will soon green up. Not concerned about that. Perfectly normal. Bit of yellow growth in winter. So I will be watching this one as well. So this is the other Bootia odorata I've got, which is got this huge spear coming right up there, and I believe come the end of winter that'll probably start opening up. So that I do find they do push all winter long. Right, so let's just finish up with one of my famous changes of mind. So this cordyline here, this Torbay Dazzler, got blown down by Storm Bert a couple of weeks back now, exactly 2 weeks to the day, in fact. Yes, we had a freeze, a couple of freezes before that, which it took no damage from, but yeah, it got the whole plant just dropped to the floor, and I said I was going to leave it at that, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. It's either going to die either way with a lot of root breakage, or it's going to survive, but either way it's looking a bit untidy. So I've put a big stake in it and tied it up, and I will, again, if we get another freeze, I will tie the fronds up, and that will protect it from the worst of the the frosts and also any more wind damage from blowing about. And that will get a frost cloth over, because this right next to the bootier palm here, which will be tied up, and that'll have a big fleece bag over it, so that'll be under that as well. Right, so yeah, again, winter these days are a bit depressing when it's grey. Say cold, it is cold, but it's not cold, it's fairly mild, but it's still, this feels cold and miserable with the wet. But yeah, in general, it's not been too cold yet, and hopefully it won't get too cold. I mean, we always do get, it's not the winter period that kills your plants, it's going to be the one or two one-off freezes which tend to do it. We've had one cold patch which hasn't been too bad here, but we've still got January and February to go. Well, most of December as well, to be fair. It is only a week into December. But yeah, we can get past that point, the old nights will start pulling out again and things will start looking a bit more positive. Yeah, the lighting's not brilliant today, but right, that's me done. Let me know how your garden's growing. Have you got anything still grown you didn't expect to? I mean, like I said, we looked at them colocaceas, and it's not just the pink Chinas, there's a lot of the different colocaceae species still trying to grow. And yeah, until we get another frost, they will continue to grow. But yeah, garden's not looking too bad. Yes, I've got a lot of shelters about, and not many people would be interested in doing that, but for me it's worth doing, just to ensure that we get a lot of these plants through winter without too much damage. Right, we'll leave it there. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.